Hi, I'm Robert, and welcome back to another special edition of the High Desert Ranch channel. It's a balmy 5 degrees here in the high desert at over 6,000 feet in the Intermountain West. And today I'm going to talk about something that, well, a simple way to put it is I'm going to talk about the folks with Spartan lives, simple in their creature comforts, if only to allow for the complexity of their passions of animal husbandry. And specifically, we're going to talk about raising hogs. So I'm going to go and break down the numbers and the input costs, and to see if raising hogs is right for you, or if you're already raising hogs, is there a way to truly make a profit only on the High Desert Ranch channel. All right, so you're probably asking yourself, why did I pick a number like $54,000? Well, $54,000 as of 2022 was the average income or salary of an individual person here in the United States. So that's a good round number to go off with. And I want you, as you come along this hog enterprise journey with me here, I'll keep it short, I promise, is I want you to open up the one eye and stop squinting with the other. And you'll see, am I pulling the wool over your eyes, or am I truly trying to pull back the curtain, so to speak, to see just how much you can make raising hogs. So I'm going to start with one hog. Let's keep it simple. And around here on the High Desert Ranch, we like to have our hogs top out about 285 pounds, live weight, or on the hoof as it's called. Then we take it to the butcher shop. And at the butcher shop, there's obviously some fat and innards and all that is taken out. So we're left with a dress or carcass weight of about 200 pounds. Straighten out that count a little bit, 200 pounds. And the final take-home weight that the loyal customers of the High Desert Ranch take home in about 165 pounds of retail cuts. So from 285 to 165. However, something that you might not be aware of is the butcher shop charges off the carcass or dress weight of 200 pounds. So at $5 a pound, which is a good nationwide average too, that I've found, that most farms or ranches charge for the carcass dress weight equals $1,000 profit, gross profit. Now, great, if you're gonna make $54,000, you gotta sell 54 hogs, right? Not exactly. Here's where the input cost numbers come to play. Something that might be misleading or deceptive, whether that's on purpose or not intentional, I don't know. I'm not going to discuss that here. Whether you're buying or raising a pig, you're going to be left with a decision. And I took the average, and we're going to, for simple mathematical or arithmetic purposes, we're going to say that piglet cost you $75. So now we're going to start subtracting from that $1,000 gross profit that you made. Then your next input cost will be your feed. Your most expensive cost when you're raising a hog, a feeder hog, to butcher and sell. And if you have a really good hog, and here on the ranch we have heritage breed, and that's going to be your best conversion feed conversion rate. Tamworth, Duroc, Berkshire, Yorkshire, those kind of hogs. And if you're lucky, you'll have a 3.5 or anywhere from 3 to 3.5 pound feed conversion for every pound of pork. So let's split the difference at 3.25 pounds per pound of pork, and you're sitting right around 850 pounds at 14%. Now the nationwide average for this per hundredweight is $25 a hundredweight, or 100 pounds. So you're right there, around $212, $225. Next will become, and this is something that some folks do and others don't, but I say an ounce of prevention is worth a pound of cure, and that's an ivermectin shot. Here on the ranch, we don't have a parasite load because we've been responsible enough to take precautions to do so. And so between your ivermectin or your dewormer, don't be fooled by the natural remedies. They don't work. All that fiber, diatomaceous earth, pumpkins might push out the worms that are already dead and dying, but you need yourself a good ivermectin dewormer. There's odor control and some other medical costs possibly associated with it. It's always good to factor that in, especially if you're going to run a large operation of $20 a piece. Now, if you're going to have that many hogs, you got to have breeding stock. You're going to have your housing and maintenance costs. I don't care if your setup was given to you or it was part of the property deal that when you purchase, you're still going to have a depreciation cost. So you're going to be right around $50 to $75 per piglet when it comes to housing and maintenance costs, because contrary to popular belief on YouTube that you see, when hogs are topping out at 250 to 300 pounds, they are going to be destructive. And like my grandpa said, hogs are like prisoners. They've got all day to think of ways to get out. So do be ready to not only have some maintenance costs associated with when you're raising large size top hogs. Now your transportation and truck costs, you know, because diesel or even fuel in general ain't free. So you're looking, plus the transportation, the wear and tear, picking up your hogs, picking up feed, taking them to the butcher shop, picking them up, whatever it is you're doing, running around, you're looking at close to $100 per hog. So plus your time. I don't even think about my time, because that's just, you get depressed thinking about it and then you wouldn't even want to do it. My grandpa said it's a way of life, and it's a love and passion that you have. So I'm not even factoring in in the time and your own personal labor. And one other thing that I'm leaving out, but maybe we can throw it in there, is, you know, taxes, business license, your brand inspection and registration, things of that nature. Maybe throw in another $25. And last but certainly not least is your butcher price, the cost to slaughter your hogs. And a good national average is anywhere from $200 to $250. So let's go at the top end. You want to be a little conservative, but conservative as far as the costs on the higher end. So $250 per head. So what does that leave you with? Well, let's find out. All right, so you've taken that $1,000 of gross profit that you earned at $5 a pound for your dressed weight, and then you subtract all those other costs. Well, you're left with a nice close to $250 profit. Anywhere from $200 to $250 of profit per hog, and that's if you don't have a hog die on you, or you blow a truck tire or a trailer tire taking that load of hogs to the butcher. It's a considerable and favorable amount. So if you're going back to your you're trying to hit your average salary and income, you've got to sell, drum roll please, 216 feeder hogs to reach that $54,000. So you have a $216,000 gross income, but you whittle all your expenses down and you're at $54,000 for an annual income. Now, what kind of operation do you have to have? Well, that's a fairly large or borderline small commercial operation, and you've got to have a lot of pens and a lot of breeding stock, which I have a shameless plug. I'll put it up here or over here at the end of this video. I have my breeding stock series where I break down some of those numbers for you to see if even keeping breeding stock is the right fit for you. But if you're shooting for this target of $54,000 of income a year, you're looking at just to keep those costs low, because if you're buying it from somebody, you're going to have to sell even more feeder hogs than the 216 feeder hog number. All right, so that about does it for me. I've got to get to chores before I lose sunlight, and it gets extremely cold. I'm going to put on a hat too. But you might ask yourself, wow, this sounds like clickbait or something like that. Well, I'll let you decide that. But if anything, it will help you as you see some of these other YouTube videos to see that I've tried to be as honest as I can and break the numbers down as easy and in a simplified and quick manner as I could. And honest, there's a lot of work that goes into the hog pens. You can see we have a pretty simple setup here. A lot of it's repurposed material, but there's still some money involved. And so I hope that you'll check out my other breeding series playlist. There's also another playlist called Hogs and Pigs, where you can see a lot of helpful things. There's a beginner's guide to hog pens and things of that nature. And we've got a lot going on here on the ranch, especially as we continue to go into the month of February and beyond. So I hope that, this video is helpful for you, and that I was your ticket to help escape the ordinary and find out just what it's like to live the high life here in the high desert of the Intermountain West, only on the High Desert Ranch channel.